All right. Avoir. When I was in elementary school, if we could not recite different verb and their conjugated terms by heart in front of the entire classroom, we couldn't have recess. Every verb, every week that we learned a new one, so each student had to come up here and say everything that lady just said, right? J'ai, tu as, il a, on a, and yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah. And plus, during recess, they gave out milk and croissant. I never got my milk and croissant. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Here we go. The verb avoir. Okay. Before we get into them, we need to know these pronouns, though, and we need to know what they mean, right? You've done some textbook work. We've taken notes where we've used some of these. Je for I, tu for you, il for he, and she, and all these other ones. Some of these on this right-hand side, we've seen them in our notes. You, we, who, you, il and they, being masculine and no being feminine. Okay. Again, right now, right, we know, I think I've mentioned this before, right, because of gender identity and this language, but there is no term that is not gendered for pronouns. Right? Everything is gendered. Right? So some languages are inventing new words, right? Some Romance languages, right? Especially Spanish people in Spain. The French don't like change to their culture in that way, right? But so some people are just using American terms for it, right? The English terms. O-N? Right? On. Yeah, O-N. Right? On. Okay, so today for the verb avoir, right, in front of these, right, in front of these pronouns, we're going to conjugate the verb. Just like you see here on the board, I wrote them all down. Tu, il, you, right, the words that come after these, those are the conjugated verbs. Okay. You'll notice here for I, right, it says je, right, but you should have noticed in the video, right, when we say I have, right, it's J apostrophe. Who remembers why? Why are we doing that? Why do we add apostrophe? It should be an E. What's the rule for adding an apostrophe? You remember, Ethan? Why is there an apostrophe here for I have when it's J-E that means I? Because it's a vowel. You're so freaking close, right? The A is a vowel, right? Whenever the first letter of the next word is a vowel, whether it's I have or like we've done some other words in the past with an N and D's, right? Whenever the next word starts with the vowel, right, you add an apostrophe. Right? So like this first one, I have, it's not je ai, right? You take off the E, you add the apostrophe, and this is I have. Just like the lady in the video told us. J'ai, I have. You have, tu as. Tu as. That's how you pronounce it. Tu as. You have. When you do your textbook work today, right, you're going to be asked, right, what's the correct conjugated verb for you? You're going to have to know that it's this one, as, a. Okay? Tu as. Right? He or she has. Il, elle, a. This is the verb. This letter right here means has. Okay? That's the conjugated verb of avoir for he and she. Right? So just the letter A is the verb. He or she has. That's what that A stands for here. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, that letter means has. He has or she has, right? Those two, masculine and feminine. For on a, right, which traditionally means one has, but really uses we have in an informal way. Informal, on a, we have. Okay, we have informal. The on being the we, the a being the verb, meaning have. Okay? We have. On a. This is the formal way to say we have, right? The last one I just showed you, right? On a is we have informal, right? This, nous avons, right? This you would use in the your friends or family members that you're really close with. Okay? So this is we have formal. Nous avons. This here in this case is the word, the conjugated verb for have. Right? It changes depending on the pronoun that you use. Okay, so this is the verb here. Right? We have. Avons. Right? Vous avez. You all. And so it's talking about you guys. Vous avez. You all have. Vous avez. Vous avez. You all have. Okay, everyone have that one? And then for they have, right? There's two different ones to say, right? Because it could either be masculine they or feminine they. So even like LS for men, and as they have for women. And you can see here, this is a verb that completely changes again. It's not a, it's not avons in this case, or ave, it's o-n-t. Right? That's the conjugated verb for they. This means have. So again, here there are again all of them. Right? This is key. Right? You're going to have to memorize it. You're going to have to learn these conjugations by heart. Right? It's just there's no other way around it. Right? You can't go the rest of your life with these conjugate verbs written underneath your arm or something, right? You just have to memorize them. Okay. J'ai, tu as, il, elle, on a, nous avons, okay. You should have all these written down already. For example, right? I have a book, right? J'ai un livre, right? Je have a book. Right? You don't need to write these down. Right? Just take a look at examples of how it's used. Right? I have a book. Elias, what do you think this sentence is? We have a computer? Yeah, good job. We have a computer. Obviously, it's a computer. Right? There's an image there. Right? Un ordinateur. We have a computer. Okay. For example, tomorrow on the quiz, right? I'm going to ask you might have this sentence here, right? But I'm going to ask you to select or type the correct conjugated verb. Okay, so this will be blank. You'll have to fill that in. And some questions on the quiz tomorrow will be like that. Or there'll be multiple choice. Well, I'll have you select, right, the correct form of the verb, right? Is it A, avons? Is it B, avez? Or is it C, a? right? And obviously you would pick A, avant, for new. Natalia, what do you think this sentence means? Yeah, good job. You have a big table, literally in French, a grand, a large table. You have a big table. Move forward very quickly. Okay. Here's the key thing that often trips people up. Okay. In your textbook, you will have, Mark has a friend. Like, Mark is a dude. It is clearly a he. Right? Therefore, it can also be he has. Right? You have to know that if they use the name, you have to recognize whether it's a boy's name or a girl's name and understand why they're using the verb. Okay, for example, in the last period, when you do your textbook assignment, pretend that this A wasn't here. It was just Mark, blank, and then me. Like, people were confused as to why it was A, right? Because in the slides that I showed you, I only showed you he, she, we equals A. Well, obviously Mark's a he, right? So you would use, that's when you use that one. Okay? You wouldn't use any other one. Clearly, Mark's a guy. It's he. He's singular. It's not plural or anything. So you would have to use the one for he. Okay, just like this example here. Same thing for these two. Okay. Sophie and Marie have homework. Okay. Why are you using the O and P ending? Right? The O and P is only for in and elle. But obviously it's they, more than one person, and they're female. So you have to use the ending, right, for elle, on. They have. Right? Sophie et Marie ont des devoirs. Okay. In your textbook assignment, right, you're going to have questions like this. This will be blank. You need to understand that Sophie and Marie is equivalent to they have feminine. Just because it doesn't say elle, right, doesn't mean that it's not this one. Right? You have to recognize that this could easily be switched to elle, right, they, plural, feminine. Okay. Again, you just need to like somehow get all this into your brain. Right? I don't know, osmosis or brainwashing. Somehow, right, you're just gonna have to memorize these conjugated verbs, right? The endings. Okay. All right. Let's do some more examples. Ethan, the first one. Okay, before you answer, okay. What is this here? What's the right? The professor, but it's not. So what happens? Yeah, right. It's not. So a teacher, a female teacher. Okay. Okay. Now that you know that, which thing would you put here? Which one? Right. Hey, right. This is odd. This is odd. It's going to say. You're going to say letter A, right? So A, right? The last period had a hard time with this, right? Because they didn't. The one student didn't quite understand that this, not false, is equivalent to L. It's a she, obviously. Right? The she, so you need to use this ending. Okay? Good job, you think. Tristan, what do you think for number 2? It's the students, right? A group of students. See? Yeah. Good job. Right? It's the students. We're talking about they and plural. It's always he. Is that right? They have. Right? For the students, you wouldn't say you all have, right? Or we have. You're talking about them, right? They have. The students have. All right. Sign. Third one should be easy. not C, right? It's okay. We're learning this, right? It's J apostrophe. Take a look at the board. A. It's all right. It's okay. Sometimes with a lot of letters, all this jumble, it's confusing, especially if it's a foreign language. All right, man. But the key thing, right? You see an apostrophe whenever for avoir, a J apostrophe, immediately your mind should trigger, right? AI, right? A, right? J. Whenever you see that apostrophe there. Okay, Dom, what do you think about this next one? Yep, right. You see new, right? Immediately should tell you it needs to be avons, right? Nous avons. A. The fifth one, right? You should take a look at the board. Right? It's two. It has to be me. Right? Two up. And the last one, clearly it says vous. Right? So we need to find the correct ending for vous, avez. Right? Bam. Okay. Now. Okay. If we want to make it negative, right? Remember, you need to add certain words to make it negative. You should know what this means. If you have a chair, if I want to say to Evelyn, right, that she does not have a chair, I would say, tu n'as pas de chaise. Right? Now we made it into a negative sentence. Right? And see what you need to do to make it negative. You need to add an apostrophe before the word. You always need to add pas. And then just like we learned on Tuesday, it doesn't matter what the article is, you need to change it to DE. Right? Doesn't matter if it's singular or plural, you need to change it to DE. Tu n'as pas de chaise. It's not tu n'as pas une chaise. Right? It's tu n'as pas deux. Right? This changes into this. Right? But to make it negative, you need to add the pas, and you need to add the n apostrophe before the verb. Right? Another example. I have a window, right? Good for you. Right? Je n'ai pas de fenêtre. Okay? I do not have a window. Before the verb, and apostrophe, you need to add pas, you need to change the into de. Okay? All right? Okay. Take a look at one more. You don't have books, plural. Right? Take a look at it changes. Right? Some of you guys in your textbook assignment from Tuesday, right, still kind of forgot that. Even plural, right? When you make it negative, it changes to be, right? That's the thing. Tu n'as pas peu, right? It's not tu n'as pas deux livres. Okay? Tu n'as pas deux livres. Okay? Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, so let's take a look at all of the avoir verbs, right, made into negatives. Right, so make sure we write these down. Right, it's the same thing as before. It's not all negative. It's not I have. It's I don't have. Right? You need to add the apostrophe and the pas. Okay, je n'ai pas. Right? I don't have. And we're going to go through all of them all the way until they don't have. Right? And then you'll work it on your textbook assignment. I don't have, je n'ai pas. Okay? You don't have, tu n'as pas. Okay? Tu n'as pas. You don't have. Right? For he and she doesn't have. Same thing. You just add the N apostrophe, right, and the pa afterwards. He or she doesn't have. And then remember, on, right, can mean we don't have, right? Informal. On n'a pas, right? We don't have. Okay? On n'a pas, right? Same thing. And before the verb, right? And the pas afterwards. Okay? Remember, this is the we don't have informal, right? Used amongst friends. Right? If you want to talk about talking about your teachers or your bosses, we don't have. Nous n'avons pas. All right, and then for you all don't have, vous n'avez pas. Okay, vous n'avez pas. Vous n'avez pas. You all don't have. And then the last one, this will be our last slide for today. They don't have. Ils and elles n'ont pas. Again, same thing. Same routine. Ils, elles n'ont pas. They don't have. Okay, that's it for the slides. Pick a partner. If you want to work by yourself, right, that's fine. Okay, you do you. Okay, but, right, it's nice to work with a partner, right? You can collaborate. You can see what another person thinks, what they think is right. But together or by yourself, however you do it, you're going to put to the test, right, on page 26, 46, and 47. This one and this one on page 26. It's basically going to ask you to pick, right, or write in the correct conjugated ending, right, depending on what you think is right. Right? On your quiz tomorrow, you're going to have some questions like this. Some of them will be very similar to this one. Okay? Almost exactly the same. Okay, so really make sure you take a look at these and see what they're asking you. Okay, look at your notes as you're doing this. Right, it's the verb endings are also up here on that same page. Right up here. It gives you all the endings up here as well. All right, so that's what you're working on for the next 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll do this video on French kissing greeting culture. No. Just. Again, that's on page 26. As soon as you're done, go ahead and put it in. Come on, stupid computer.